What is going on, everybody? I am Mike. Welcome back to Tech 24/7 TV. I am glad that you are with me today because we are talking about the iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's been 3 days. We're going to tell you what my experiences are, how I'm using it, what I'm using it for, how the camera is. Really, is the battery life as good as everyone says it is? And is it going to make me reconsider my iPad mini purchase, or will the iPad mini make me reconsider this big 6.7-inch iPhone? Let's get started. Now, before we get in the video, guys, YouTube tells me that 90% of you are not subscribed to the channel. So do me a solid, consider hitting subscribe, turning on notifications, and be a cool guy or girl and consider hitting the like button because the algorithm loves that and it'll bring the content to more people. Now, in terms of the video is broken out into different sections, and I have those sections pinned in the first comment below, and anything I talk about will be linked in the video description. And of course, there are always captions on my videos in case you need to come back to something, or maybe I'm speaking a little bit too fast. Now, about the iPhone. My iPhone of choice is going to be the iPhone 13 Pro Max. This is in Sierra Blue, and this is 512 gigs of storage. I generally keep my devices somewhere in the neighborhood of about 250 to 260 gigs worth of internal storage on that device, so it's not really worth it to me to go down to a smaller size for just a few dollars per month. That's my kind of thought process on that. The phones themselves come in 128, 256, 512, and 1 terabyte. And 1 terabyte is an awful lot of money for you to pay that. I think it's $14.99 or $15.99, depending on whether you're going with the Pro or the Pro Max. Now, new this year, Apple doesn't have the plastic wrap as part of their commitment to reducing waste that's surrounding the phones. This actually looks like the same color they use in the Apple Fitness. This looks promising. Let's get it unboxed. Oh, that blue is actually very soft. It's very iridescent. It's almost like a lavender color, I think. Oh, wow. Look at that. That is just beautiful. I really like the way that these sides look on this phone. So 3 days in, I like the color online. I don't know if I'm necessarily in love with the color here in person. It's more of a pastel or a soft blue. It almost kind of looks like slate in some lights. That's how I would describe it to you. I showed it to my wife and she's like, oh wow, that's really pretty. I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's really what I was looking for, even though I have talked about publicly that I'd like to have a rose gold phone, but that's another story. And what I would say is that if you're thinking about getting this phone, it looks good in pictures and you probably want to check it out in person before buying it. In terms of why I bought this phone, so I bought the iPhone 13 Pro Max for 3 reasons. One's for the advancement in photography, low light photography, portrait photography, and also the capabilities for videography, and then for the increases in battery life. Now, I own the 12 Pro Max today, and it is not really that great in battery life, and I end up having to buy an additional battery or those MagSafe battery packs, which I'm not a fan of. Now, I think ProMotion is great. I'm not someone who has to have it, though it is nice to use once you start using it. It's not like the end of the world for me, and that doesn't mean if you're looking at an iPhone 13 that the display is gonna be trash. I think it's gonna be absolutely fine. The iPhone 13 display is as good as it was in last year's model. You know, it's got the same panel in it as the iPhone 13, though it does have a different technology in terms of refresh rate in comparison to the Pro model. Other than that, those are the 3 big reasons that I bought it. Again, photography, videography, and the increases in battery life. So when I saw the iPhone 13 announcement, those are the features that stood out to me as why I would get that phone, not for any other reason. Now, in terms of cameras, Apple took a different approach this year, and instead of differentiating the larger iPhone 13 Pro Max from its younger sibling, the 13 Pro, both phones feature the same exact set of cameras with the same exact measurements. The wide lens has an effective 26mm focal length, and that has an f1.5 aperture. This is a very fast lens, and it will work well in low light, which we're going to see here in just a moment, some of the examples. Next is the ultra wide, which is going to give you a 13mm focal length. It is an f1.8 aperture. Finally is going to be the telephoto. The telephoto has been upgraded. It's going to be a 77mm focal length. Now, when you take the advancements in the camera lenses, so the faster lenses, letting in more light with bigger focus pixels and hitting a bigger sensor, also with the advancements in night mode and photographic styles, which I'm going to show you here in just a moment, you're getting photos that look very good. I would say, if not probably the best that I've seen on a camera phone at this point. Next up, we have photographic styles, an interesting way that Apple's approaching, I would call filters to add to your photos, but they're in line with Apple's image processing, not done post. So it should preserve skin tones in almost all instances. Now, today I went outside at dusk and took some photos of a color card to see the differences between each of the different styles. They're standard, rich, vibrant, warm, and cool. Now, I don't know about you, but my favorite style is gonna be warm. Let me know what yours is down in the comments below. All right, now that we finished up the photography samples, let's move on to videography, and this is probably gonna be one of my most favorite parts. We have samples coming from cinematic video from the front-facing camera and the rear-facing camera. So cinematic mode, let's try and tap here. Got that in focus. Let's go back. Wow, that looks pretty good. I like it. Let's see if we can grab it on. Yeah, we can. Neat, huh? Now this is a cool feature, but it is limited to 1080p at 30 frames per second. People are gonna use it. It is a very neat feature, and if you get it, let me know what you think about it. When you think about the improvements that are being brought in the photography and videography capabilities of the iPhone 13, all this is enabled by the A15 processor, and which is also going to play a big part in the battery life increases that the iPhone 13, 13 Pro, and the rest of the devices are capable of delivering. Now I can tell you that right now it's been about 4 days and I'm getting about an hour more of talk time, which is kind of crazy with my device. And I'm getting somewhere in the neighborhood of about 5 hours of screen on time with about 50% of my battery left at about 6 o'clock. So that is a significant amount of battery, and I've been trying to hammer this full brightness, screen on all day. Obviously it is 120 Hertz, it is ProMotion, so those things will take a toll on the battery. Now, truth be told, I am very impressed with the iPhone 13 Pro after 3 or 4 days. It is a significant upgrade for me, at least, in terms of battery life, camera capabilities, and photography capabilities. Now, but my question to myself is, do I really need to carry this large 13-inch, this large 6.7-inch iPhone 13 Pro Max in my pocket when I'm very much in love with the iPad mini 8.3 inch. There's a lot of jobs that the iPhone has today that the iPhone mini could take away from it in terms of capabilities, what I'd use it for, and I ask myself really every time I pick it up, could I do this with a different device? Is there any friction here that makes me want to use this device over this, or do I need it? I'd love to downsize to a smaller device. I'd love to not carry this big device in my pocket and carry this in my pocket. Well, I mean, let's be honest, I'm not carrying this in my pocket. I'm not wearing carpenter pants. Carry this with me, but those are things that I'm thinking through as I'm formulating my full review on both the iPhone and the iPad mini. Now that's gonna put it for me. Let me know what kind of questions you have down in the comments below. What is pushing you towards or away the iPhone 13 Pro or Pro Max? I am Mike, this is Tech 24/7 TV. Folks, I had a lot of fun doing this. I'll catch you guys in the next one.